Laura Fleckett of Saltar Solutions, and I'm here on Focus Forward today. I have a really exciting guest. I'm thrilled to be able to introduce him, but before I do, I want to talk a little bit about The Trust Edge by David Harsacker. I will tell you right now, I absolutely love this book. This is a must-read, and you know, just to give you a little hint about it, I just want to read you one tiny thing. Trust, not money, is the currency of business and life. Now, truer words were never spoken as far as I'm concerned. Everybody needs to be getting this book. And the really great news is David is going to be on an upcoming show, which I'm thrilled about. So absolutely get The Trust Edge, start studying, get ready. It's going to be fabulous. Now, for today's show that I'm so thrilled to be on and to be able to introduce this guest to you. His name is Daniel Antonsson, and he is CEO of Antonsson. So, Daniel, how are you?
Hi, thanks, Lori. I'm great. Nice to speak to you, and thanks for having me on the show.
Well, I'm so excited to. So, tell me about your company.
Well, basically, I'm running a training company here in Sweden. We're based in the headquarters here in Sweden, and we have offices across Sweden, Scandinavia, and some parts of the Northern Europe as well. So we're a training company providing leadership training, team development training, and sales training, and lots of other trainings for companies. And so that's basically what we do.
Wow, that's really exciting. So now you look like you're in New York. What's going on with that?
Oh yeah, really. Yeah, you know, I always like to think big, and this room is actually called the Donald Trump room here at our office here in Sweden, and in this room is where we actually think big all the time. And you know, I always have this vision that one day our company is going to be based in New York City as well. So I put up a big picture on the wall that keeps me reminded of the goal and so on. So that's the reason why. But I'm still in Sweden, you know.
Well, I love that. I think that's great. So, you know, I noticed that you are thinking big. You started your company, I believe, in 2009. Is that right?
Well, actually, we started in 2007, but it really started to get going in 2008, 2009, and so on. So we're still a pretty young company, but we're growing rapidly at the moment. So yeah.
So your headquarters in Stockholm, and then what other countries are you in? Because I know right now you had a big boost.
Oh yeah, I spoke to you a few weeks ago, and we are based here in Sweden, and we have offices in Norway, Denmark, and the UK, and we're also expanding to some of the Baltic countries. But that's a pretty new for us, so we haven't started them up yet. So we're heading there the next month. So it's going to be very, very exciting. It's a quite different culture for us to go there. But it's going to be very, very interesting, and I'm looking forward to it.
That's great. So what are those countries that you're moving into right now?
Well, it's Belarus, Lithuania, Estonia, and we're actually moving into Russia as well. And this is where we're going to be starting. And the reason why is that our concept, what we have created is a business concept focusing on helping business consultants, trainers, coaches, and so on to grow their business. And we have made it a franchise concept, and we're now expanding the franchise concept to several different countries. And that's the reason why we're going there, because we want to try it out, and we have had requests from Russia for many, many years, but we haven't been ready until now. And so we're very, very excited about this opportunity.
Well, I can imagine. I mean, that's unbelievable. So how does a company position? Because you didn't really start out as a franchise, right?
No, that's correct. You know, it's when I first started out, you know, I've been a business owner for many years, and when I married my wife, I moved down to the Stockholm area, and I sold my company, my previous company, and I started to work the first time in my life as an employee. And you know, I got so bored being an employee, every day I came home from work, I was feeling tired, exhausted, and I was complaining all the time. And that's not what I'm used to be like, and so on. So one day I said to myself, come on, Dan, you're a smart guy. You can figure this out. What is it that you really want to do? And, I was standing in my kitchen. I have a big whiteboard there, and on the whiteboard I wrote down that if everything went exactly the way I wanted it to be in 20 years, what would my life look like? And I wrote down, I want to be working internationally. I want to be helping businesses to grow, and I want to have lots of consultants working for me. International Business Consultants eventually became Ibiscon, a short form for that long name. So I wanted to start up a business that helps people to grow, companies to grow, and so on. But we're focusing on helping the individuals to grow first, because I think it's very, very important to realize that you cannot. A lot of people and a lot of companies are trying to start developing the company before they go into the people and so on. And I think that's the total wrong way to approach it. You need to have the people to grow in order to have the company to grow. And anyway, I started off this company all by myself. And in the beginning, I was training. By myself, and I was out there selling, and I was also doing the trainings and so on. And I found out that this is a typical problem which I believe every consultant out there has, and it's like it's a constant cash flow, which can be very hard to get, because when you're doing the trainings, you don't get any new clients, and you have to go out there chasing new clients, and you don't get any money because you don't do the trainings and so on. So it's kind of hard to have a great cash flow. So I was thinking, if I would make the best model in the world to make this cash flow really perfect, what would it look like? And that's when I switched the business model into a franchise concept, meaning that we have a company, which Ibiscon, which develops new products all the time, and we do the marketing. And we also have one department, that's one franchise department with including only consultants, business consultants, trainers, coaches, and so on, who are certified in our products, and they go out there and sell on their own, and they also get certain assignments from us, because we also have a second business, which is a sales team department, which means that we have found the best salespeople in the area, and salespeople there are in the top of their league when it comes to just selling, and but they're still employees, and we were looking for these people who wants to take it to the next level, start their own business, and we have provided them with opportunity to join our concept, selling our tools, our products, our training products, and so on. And when we put this together, we have a wonderful sales organization who are the experts in selling, and they're out there promoting the products. Ibiscon itself are creating new products and training our trainers, and the trainers, the consultants, they can go out there, do what they love to do and what they're best at, and helping the customers and so on grow. So that model became like the big boost for the company. I think it's a game changer in the business as well.
So first of all, you started out as an entrepreneur, doing the training, doing the sales, doing everything that you needed to do to make your company move along. Then you decided to adjust your model to bring on people to in a franchise kind of arena, and now you have another leg. So it sounds like your company actually has like 3 different legs. You also have the other leg that does the sales. So this way, you're constantly growing your company.
Correct, Lori. So it's I think it's well, we constantly add more legs to the business model as well. We have created an e-learning platform which helps both the sales teams and the consultants, as well as our clients, to grow their sales and so on. Because I believe that's the sales process is one of the most crucial things in every businesses, of course. So we've created an e-learning platform that helps business owners to get more leads and know how to convert those leads into paying customers, and how to increase their sales and charge higher prices and get higher profits and so on. So we're constantly developing our concept and so on to make it the best and most perfect concept in the world.
Wow, that sounds really fascinating. So can we roll back to that time when you were an entrepreneur, that you had this idea that you wanted to pursue? Can we talk a little bit about that period between, you know what you want to do, you're still doing the business every day. How did you actually make that leap to go from being an entrepreneur to really being like a business owner and to have those franchisees? How did that happen?
Well, to be very, very honest, I got very frustrated because I was actually doing what I love to do, teaching people, helping people to grow. I was doing that on a daily basis, but still, I wasn't satisfied with the cash flow, as I was saying. And I was thinking, if I'm having this problem, I guess there must be other people out there who has exactly the same problem and so on. So I was thinking, what do I need? And if I need that, some other people might need that as well, and so on. And when I did that, when I switched into because I was focusing on getting the sales team on first before I went on to get more consultants. and when I did that, I get so much work, so I couldn't deliver all of the trainings myself. So that's when I realized I need to bring on consultants to the team. And once I got, I think it was the first 3 consultants, I don't know what really happened, because all of a sudden I get applications every week floating in and so on, and like 10, 15 of them every week, and they're still coming in. So I believe I managed to find the solution for a lot of people, and if you can find the solution for a lot of people, then people are gonna join you and so on.
Okay, so you found the solution for your company, and then it sounds like you've actually turned that solution into a product. Is that right?
Correct.
A
That's
system
correct.
that you're able to teach other entrepreneurs so they can grow their business. Is that right?
Ah, that's correct. That's correct.
Excellent, excellent. So when we look at it, what do you think, going back to when you were just an entrepreneur, and you said you really liked the the sales and the training, how much of your time was actually spent doing that, and how much of your time was spent doing other things like running the business?
Well, when I first started out by myself, I mean, I think all of my time was spent on chasing new clients. Barely, I think, every waking hour, I needed to find ways to get more clients. And at that time, I didn't run the business. I was just out there selling, and of course, then train the clients and so on. And now when I look at it, if I think it's very, very easy, very a common mistake for a lot of people in the same position to keep doing just like that, being stuck in that position where you feel frustrated and you out there selling, and actually not moving the business forward and so on. And I think when I switched over the business model, I didn't spend as much time to selling and so on, because what I needed to do was to expand the concept in a way of making it perfect and making it perfect for each and every person within the business. By that, I mean, all of a sudden, it was easy when I was on my own. I knew everything and so on, knew everything I had to be doing and so on. And now all of a sudden I had lots of people who were joining my concept, and I needed to lead them and so on, and manage them and so on. So nowadays I become much more of a business leader than I used to, and I think that's great. I really love that. But I sometimes I really do miss the parts when I was training larger groups and so on. So it's but I do a lot of public speaking as well. So yeah, sometimes I get to train others.
Well, that sounds great. That sounds great. So one of the questions I have is, how do you find it is to like be cross-cultural? Because you're talking about, yes, the Scandinavian countries, I think they probably have a similar kind of culture, so it's not really that different as opposed to maybe the former Russian countries. So how does that work? You know, is that difficult? Are you taking classes in that? I mean, how would an entrepreneur be able to do that working with people of completely different cultures?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a big challenge, definitely. Of course, we do a lot of research, and I myself, I study each and every country that we're entering, and I want to know exactly everything about them. But I also believe that one of the key elements for us is how we do the recruitment process. Because we have 4 values in our company that we cherish and that we live by all the time. And well, I can bring them up here. It's the first one is always being innovative, because we're saying that IBISCON, the training of the future, is here. It means that we have to constantly move forward and trying to reach out there and become the best there is, trying to have our products being developed into something greater than anyone have ever seen. And we're trying to look for people who are willing to do that with us. The second value for us is being creative. And the difference between being innovative and being creative for us means that the creative for us is our way of saying that we believe in each and every one, and everyone who works with us have the freedom of making their own decisions. They have the freedom to solve any problems that they will come across in their own best ways. Because we believe that if every individual can be expressing himself or herself in her own way, solving problems the way he or she thinks is the best way, we believe it's the best way for the company. So that's a very strong value for us. Energy, we always have to be having energy, and I think this is one of the most important values for us when we go into another country and so on, because in order to inspire people, in order to reach out to people, you have to have energy, and you have to show it, and you have to be able to show the energy to others and give them energy and so on. So if people don't show energy towards us in a recruitment process, they most likely wouldn't be hired by us and so on, because energy is the key element, I would say, the one key element. And the last value for us is being humble all the time. I mean, no matter how good we are or how big we get, always stay humble, teaching others. If you know anything, teach others. If you know a secret to anything, teach others. Because being humble, I believe, is a key to success.
Well, that's a brilliant answer. I love the idea that you're really bringing your brand values in and you're communicating those. Is that a challenge to communicate those to the satellite offices? Have you found that that's a little bit difficult, or do you just constantly lead with those values and people get it right away?
Yeah, I mean, for the first time, every time we meet someone for the first time who are interested in joining IBISCON, we talk about the values. We look if they share the values. Mm-hmm. And for us, it's so important that, we don't look at the skills you have. We don't look at the knowledge you have. Of course, that's also important. But if you can't share the values, I don't think you would fit into our organization and so on. So, and it's very clear that that's what we think about it. So from the very first beginning, everyone is very understanding about that, and they understand it very well and so on. And we live it by day, all the time. So I think for us, it's not a problem to have the values, alive and so on. But I know that some companies are struggling with that. But for us, it's It's I like to say easy, and I guess it is.
That's amazing. So I really like the idea that you have innovation and creativity together. I don't think I've ever seen that before. And I love that you've really thought through that to understand that people really still do need to have their creativity, especially in training and on the spot. You have got to be able to be present and be able to make changes as per what your group needs. So that's really fascinating, and that the company needs to continue to move forward in their innovation. So when you started out, I know when we were talking before you started out, you said that you had 200 training programs when you first started out.
Yeah.
And that's just mind-boggling. And then how many did you scale back to?
65 of them. Yes, we started out with 200. Not really when I first began, but after I think one and a half year, we had 224 training programs. And so we were basically offering everything to everyone and so on. And that's not a good thing. So, we have learned by our mistakes. And the good part is that we've seen what is working and what is not. And today we're only doing what's working. So we've scaled it down to 65, and maybe we're going to go down a bit more, because we're realizing that there's a bigger demand for certain areas and so on. And I think it's very important that each of our training program is world class. So, and I believe that by the end of this year, we will be having 40 or maximum 45 training programs.
Wow, that's great. So now the next question I have is, what advice could you give to the entrepreneur that has an idea, you know what, maybe I'd like to take this bigger? So can you give us like 3 tips that the person who's watching this right now might be able to institute to move to that next level, or at least position to that next level?
Yeah, sure. Go for it. That's number one. I would say, now you're talking to an entrepreneur, and I would say go for it. Maybe that's not the first step. I would go back and say that step number 1 is be very, very clear about what you want. Have a clear vision, and stick to it. Stick to that vision, and be very, you gotta have a lot of perseverance, because you're gonna face obstacles along the road, and people are going to try to bring you down, and they might say that you might not succeed and you can't do that, or the market might turn down and so on. But if you truly believe it's possible, if you truly believe that this is what you want to do, stick to it and go for it. So go for it is the key element.
Wow, that's great. So take action.
Take action. Yes, Lori.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so what's next for Ibiscon?
Well, Ibiscon, we're continue to expand here in Europe. We have a plan for being in 13 different locations in the UK by the end of 2014. So far, we have 3 offices over there. And so that's not a big challenge, but it's a big job for us to do that. And it's going to take a lot of my time, I guess. And we're also looking at bringing the concept to the US as well. So, yeah.
Well, that's I can't even imagine going from 3 to 13 in a year. I mean, that's a lot. That's amazing. And then when do you think, in your little vision, because I know you have your vision, you have your whiteboard, I know you're always working on that, when do you think you're going to be coming to the U.S.?
Well, it always depends on, we need to find the best suited persons for the roles and so on, and people who wants to join our franchise and who shares the values, but also who are interested in growing their businesses, because I believe that the US market is the best market when it comes to education and trainings. The competition is very, very high, but I still believe that we have a unique edge in our concept, which can provide a service to all business consultants, trainers, coaches who wants to grow their business, and they feel like they really are good at doing what they do. Do the trainings and so on, but they might not, like to sell, or they feel like they're actually don't know how to sell and so on. For those people who still are very, very great at doing what they're doing, I'm looking for those people. I think I have a date. I have decided, of course, because I'm very goal-oriented. We're planning to, actually, to be honest, we have a business plan which we made a few years ago, and it says that we're going to be entering the US in 2014, in March 2014. I'm so keen on doing that already now, because I know that we're ready, and we have great connections over there at the moment. So. And a lot of interest as well. So we have to look for the right people. That's the most important thing for us.
Wow, that's amazing. So you really have it figured out. I knew you did. I knew you
Sure.
did. Right down to March. Okay, great. You probably even have the day. So we have got to say goodbye now. I'm really sorry, but the time is up. It's been wonderful. I'm really happy that we were able to do this show. Thank you so much for being on. You've given us so much great advice.
Thank you very much, Lori. Nice to be on your show. I love to come back. And thank you very much once again.
I can't wait. Thanks so much. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. So there's another episode of Focus Forward that I am so excited that you were able to watch and really think about taking your business to that next level the way that Danielle has, and many other people. And maybe check out some of the services and products that are out there that could help you, because there is no sense in reinventing the wheel. I'm Lori Flecker of Soltar Solutions, signing off. Focus Forward. Thank you.